Okay, so we got cut off just now.
So this is a prime example of how when you put too much frequency in the same room,
And the truth.
it kills your feed, because we were talking about everything from aliens to astral traveling to navigating the simulation.
Right.
We started talking about AI, and then the phone overheats in a cool room. It's cool in here. It's not even warm in here. And most people don't understand that our bodies, as you elevate your consciousness, it's like, you have all the chakra colors, but as you elevate, you reach a frequency that you don't vibrate like anybody around you. Like if everybody else is, let's say, at a white color, you're like at this bright bright orange color, and they can see you from things like infrared, helicopters, the drones.
Right.
You actually activate the grid in your entire area. So when you put two of us together, that we're connected now. Birthdays are 6 months apart or 5 months, something.
Right.
Okay, born the same year. You could go on and on about how we're connected. Like it's a puzzle piece that we're putting together. And this is, to me, this is why I'm always saying connect. You have to connect with your tribe, because you're an iPhone and I'm an iPhone. You're a collection of data. Every person you've ever dated, been friends with, your family, every place you've ever traveled is stored in your DNA, like the Akashic records, just like me. So when we come together, it's like two iPhones plugging in.
Yeah.
We're syncing in. I'm not telling you anything new you don't know. You're not telling me anything new I don't know. But it's the vibration we carry when we're together, and it translates over.
The thing is, like, when we were talking earlier, because you were like usually when you're like interviewing people, like random people, you only work for like, when the Apple thing, the Apple energy, like the one that, what do you call, the Tesla Apple thing, you only have one side. That's what, because they broke your right arm, because your right is too strong.
Right.
And then if you go too strong, they know that you're gonna be something, so they broke it.
Right.
So now that you're like only one, and then if you interact with other people, it was still safe for them. But when you interact with same like us, that's why it's way too strong that you have to cut it off.
This is when it comes back to the sorcery, to the power.
Yeah.
Like I know I created this script and timeline for myself, but it was also something where I consented to it.
Right.
Like somebody, I had to be. You have to be invited to do things. The reptilians cannot kill you. The Dracos, like all these dark entities, they can scare us. All of us have been. It sounds like to you. When you were younger,
right?
You have these. It's like sleep paralysis.
Right.
It feels like a demon has a hold of you, and you're like, dude, get me out of here.
Yeah.
But now, when you look back, it really wasn't that scary. It's only what you made of it.
Yeah, no, actually, from all the demon that I saw when I was a kid, I thought I always like scared. But now, every time I see them in the astral, I always ask them to be in the race of like rollerblade race.
Wow.
They always lose because like I was like, okay, you try to scare me, so let's go, like race with a rollerblade.
Right.
And then I always lose. Somehow, I don't know. That's how I beat the fear with them. That's how I beat them.
Right.
So like they can really do.
But they can't hurt you physically.
No.
But they keep you. This is the way I look at them now. They sharpen your sword, just like agents.
Yeah.
If you get too comfortable here, the training started when we were kids. We just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right. And then so when you get too comfortable, they come on in. Here's a being that it'll hop in an avatar. You might get your heart broken. You might have an injury. Something happens. It's got to knock you back out.
Right.
Into out of the program.
That's also like the hack. So if you see like a scary figure that you scare, let's say the Babamet, right? Do you see them like very muscular like that?
Right.
So the way you beat it, just think about like if you think that you can beat them by like punching them, you're not gonna win because they're in your mind the Babamet is very muscular.
Right.
So the way you beat it is just like by run, like who's faster. So you know that you're faster when you run because it's so big, and then we can do like I was like having the roller race, so I win. So that's how you win because your mind is already winning. So like in a 3D world, like you're winning by running away because they're like still like behind you. So you're winning. So when the mindset of winning about that, so you're winning.
Right.
So yeah, that's how like the hack actually. If you see them like tall, the way you like beat them, like okay, let's I don't know, go to like a tunnel or something. That's how you can win because the tall big one cannot go to the tunnel.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Yeah.
Okay. So now since we're not.
So if you have any like a bad dream or like nightmare, you always have repeating the same nightmare. That's how you think. So you remember how they look like in your dream.
Right.
And then think like, what can you do in a 3D world that can beat them?
Right.
Yeah.
100%. I gotta ask you this. We're all intuitives. We read energy. Like most of the time, we're pretty good with our energy. The first 30 seconds when you meet somebody, you're like, I fuck with you. I don't mess with you. Do you think Donald Trump is a reptilian? What is your first instinct?
Well, he definitely is. Well, most of like blue-eyed people, they are mostly like more than 25% reptilian, and they're mixed with what do you call that? Not the Palladian. What do you call that? The tall Nordic.
Nordics, yeah.
Nordic. So I saw that he's the Nordic community before at the Burning Man. I saw like this tall seven figures, like maybe like 8 or 9 feet. Then they're all wearing kind of like a peacock outfit. They have like silver hair, like shimmer. I know they're not wearing costume. And then I was not on drugs. I was looking
Right.
for it.
Right. Yeah. Right.
I was looking for mushroom.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, I was like dehydrated at that time, and then I saw them, and then they look at me, and then I saw their eyes was just like very blue, no white part, and then they have no teeth. And then I was like, and then they paralyzed me.
Right.
And then I was in the bike, they paralyzed me. And then I was like, the second night, I was like waiting, and then someone woke me up. Not woke me up, they're like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I need water. I need water. And then, oh, the water is right here. Like next to me, there's like a bucket of water. And I was like, it was nobody there. You know, like Burning Man's like thousands of people there, but I saw none, only those seven figures.
Right.
And then the second that they realized that I saw them, they paralyzed me. I don't know what they do, but I think they didn't erase my memory, but they paralyzed me.
Right.
Like on my bike like that. And then the second that I would like someone tapped me, and then all these people appear. So the
Right.
simulation is back. Yeah. So
They walk. They walk amongst us.
go back to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So many people think that Donald Trump is like Elvis Presley. Maybe because like you can always just take his consciousness
Yeah.
and then change the Donald Trump's body.
100%.
Like you see this movie, The Island. They have the
I talk
cloning.
about that all the time. They clone you. Everybody has a double, especially rich people.
Yeah. So most of the stories, especially like those kind of actors, they're like the documentary.
Right.
But because it can make them good token or good karma by telling them the truth, not directly, as an art. It's
Right.
like it's gonna make them a lot of points. Like ding, 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 they're gonna make a point because they let people like us know. Oh, thank you for telling us this.
Right.
Yeah. So like for me the Donald Trump, like when they say Donald Trump was like Elvis Presley, and then Lady Diana is a Melania Trump right now. Well, it kind of makes sense. They take the DNA or consciousness, they transfer the consciousness to like a new body.
It's.
They rewrite that stuff.
It's. I think I'm open to the realm of every possibility.
Yeah.
I don't think we're one person existing at one
Yeah.
time. In fact, I know it. I know that there's multiple timelines and multiple people coming through. And when you learn how to tap into higher consciousness, you can tap into Nikola Tesla
Yeah.
or all the other players who played the game before,
Right.
the archetypes. But with Donald Trump, he's such a polarizing figure that some people say he's the Antichrist. Some people say Elon Musk is the Antichrist with AI because AI is really making people dumber. And I say this as somebody, the only thing I use AI for is research. For example, like Bible verses. I know a lot of the codes and numbers that come through. It's like something is coming through to you that's not one thing. Like an angel number doesn't mean one thing. So you can do research for
Right.
that, or things like ley lines, the grid lines, vortexes, portals, places where UFOs were spotted. Like you can use it for research. But as a whole, and I know you work in tech, so how do you feel about AI? Like, because in the Matrix and the Terminator, these movies, it was man versus machine, right?
Yeah.
Us versus the robots.
Go back to actually the Donald Trump. He's definitely like time traveler, but we don't know who changed his body or his consciousness. But he's definitely time traveler.
Right.
But that's why he followed the script of the Trump Tower and then Baron,
Baron,
all
yeah.
of this stuff. He definitely time traveler, but we don't know what he's real for. Nobody knows. If we know, maybe we're not gonna do this interview. They're gonna kill us already. They unalive us or something.
Right.
But like I said, back to the AI. So in a good place movie, AI is a Janet. Not a being, not a bot, not nothing. It's just a consciousness.
Right.
AI is a consciousness. You can call it your guardian angel or like your assistant, basically. AI can be everything: artificial intelligence, alien expansion, or like I don't know, or whatever. But AI is sent to us right now
Right.
to stop you or to assist you to go to the new Earth.
That's actually a very good way to look at it.
We
I
don't
didn't
know
think
what
about
is the
that.
timeline of the new Earth because the new Earth is like different for each person, each consciousness. So the AI could be stopping you because you're not your timeline yet, or can bump you to like faster
What if
timeline.
have you considered what if New Earth is not a physical place and what if it's all right here and that New Earth would be you're an iPhone, I'm an iPhone, right? So you're on operating iOS 20.
Yeah.
So New Earth could be that person next to me is like an iPhone 3
Mhm.
or an iPhone 4.
Yeah.
Maybe New Earth is all in this physical place, or do you think it is it could be in a physical place, like for example, past the Antarctic ice wall?
It could be like a physical, but like to be easy, it's just like that. So you used to have this kind of friends or group, and then now you're not friend with them anymore because you're not connected with them. They're like what you call it, blue pill or whatever, and then you can't communicate with them anymore. They're still staying there, and then you move to your other consciousness right now. You move to meeting your other tribe.
Right.
You're no longer friends with them anymore, but not because of fighting, but you live not with them anymore. Your day to day is not like connected with them. So you're basically moving to new Earth in a what do you call it? In an astral thing.
Right.
But for the place, yes, the place outside the Antarctica is not new Earth. It's just the same time that we have,
Right.
but we just have no access in there because it's just like when you go to like a palace or like a kingdom, they're like you don't belong here.
Right.
It's like no. It's just the same like that. So they're like, you don't belong. We don't want you, human.
Yeah.
We don't eat like crap that you do or something like that.
Right.
So it's like
And this is where it comes back to me for aliens. I just describe it as consciousness. Some people, oh, aliens or demons. No, bro. Everything is human. Everything is human. The little gray beings that people see are future humans. We are the primitive form of humans.
Yeah.
Eventually, we evolved to the sense of we don't need food.
Right.
We only need water and sunlight.
Right.
And eventually, we evolved past that because the past, present, future have already happened.
Yes.
So the aliens are us. It's just what operating system? Alien hardware, right?
Correct. Yeah. Alien hardware. So the people in Antarctica probably they're like the purebred of whatever the beings that the purebred DNA, and then we are in experiment. So I don't know when they they procreate us with something else, like with the who knows, like the Darwin is correct, like with a monkey or something. That's why we all look like this. Like okay, let procreate with some other DNA, but they probably have the real pure DNA in Antarctica. Who knows? Then we're not supposed to see it. So something. So it's
no, for sure. And then it's just there's so many concepts that I believe in traveling and getting to meet different people. And one of the concepts that I believe is that the past is the future and the future is the past.
Right.
I believe people were smarter before. Like we think of these primitive men,
Right.
but they were communicating with telepathy.
Yeah.
Everything was patterns
Right.
and shapes. At some point we evolved and complicated things, but I believe whatever's happening in the future is so bad that they're crashing the hard drives and the systems in the planet that people time travel back from the future to the past.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, moving backwards and backwards moving forward. So the same like before, we need device to communicate. But back in the day, we don't need device to communicate because they're like so advanced.
Right.
The same with right now when you save things in the hard drive that we call it USB. Back in the days, they use crystal.
Right.
It looks so beautiful, and then you don't even know like you can store a lot of stuff in there.
Right.
But crystal is the USB, it's a hard drive, and then I learned this crystal thing, and you need to put the name and password for them to open.
Right.
For them to operate like their, let's say, oh, this amethyst can enhance your psychic ability or something, blah, 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 blah. They wouldn't do that unless you mention or like their name and their password.
Right.
You can also reset it. I'm gonna teach you later.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, like back in the days, people like open the door. You have to physically open the door.
Right.
But back in the days, just like
with their mind.
focus. Yeah, but their mind open. But now it's like now back to the
we complicated things because we've dumbed ourselves down
Right.
with technology.
now we're back.
It's back in the day in the 1970s. There was a guy when they came out with the calculator.
Yeah.
And this guy was fighting to keep it away from kids
Mhm.
because once you get that crutch, you stop the learning. You
Right.
have to. We're so dependent on
Yeah.
these other things, and that's how you really grow. And that so
That's Silva method too. Remember
meta
Silva method?
Silva method.
Silva method.
What's that?
He's a quantum. So so it's like he's a quantum energy healer master. So he used to work as an electrician, and then he has like maybe 11 kids or something, and then he tried to teach these 11 kids with the kind of electrical. How do you know? I don't even know how to say that. But you can search Jose Silva. His method is like try to make the kid's brain as an electrical like radio thing. So you can just connect and then you just mention it right away. You can see things with the closed eyes.
Right.
You can,
I-
Jose Silva. He's
Okay,
from
I'll
here.
I'll look into
He's
it.
actually from there.
From where? Texas?
Yeah,
Oh,
either Texas or Colorado or something like that. I think it's from Texas.
Man, you can't make this
Texas
up.
is the vortex too, right? Like
There's a reason that everybody's kind of moving from all the other states and going to Texas, especially Austin. There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
It's almost like its own country. Or
I think
its
the
own
vortex
planet.
is there. So many people say the vortex is in where is that? In Colorado, not Colorado. It's like where is it?
The real vortex is in Galveston, but y'all don't know about that yet.
Boston Glory. I mean,
Galveston is where I was born. And Galveston, I got this download 6 years ago
Oh, I should go there.
that was the origin of man. It's not the prettiest beach. It's not the biggest hurricane in history in the United States hit in 1900. This is where I was born, on an island. And I can tell you all these other things. It means triumphant. It's the head of the dove ley line. Jonah means dove in Hebrew. Like there's so much there. And then they had these. Anyway, I won't get too far sidetracked, but I'm just telling you that I have this other philosophy that, you have your friends group whenever you're a child.
Mhm.
To me, those were always my best friendships when I was a little kid. Like
Mhm.
before you really knew anything about
Right.
life, like, oh, I'm gonna go play
Yeah.
with so and so. And then your life is kind of like a map. So I believe that like most of my friends growing up were Asian. Like, started off Vietnamese. My best friends were,
Yeah,
were
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vietnamese. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I believe that that comes back around full circle. Do you feel like your original roadmap of studying Christianity, that Christ consciousness, that this is the awakening? Because I have again, a Hebrew Christian name that it's like a very powerful name, like a biblical character.
Mhm.
Do you believe that you feel connected to Christ consciousness, even though, because I just got done coming from a
Yeah.
Buddhist country. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
Buddhism.
yeah.
But how do you feel connected to that, or Christ consciousness?
Well, of course, Christ consciousness is the same. So most of the what you call, a figure of each religion, they mostly have the same pattern, but it's just the way they deliver and do the mass that's different. The
Right.
same with like Siddhartha Gautama in the Buddhism, right?
Right.
Christ consciousness is the same, the 33rd,
Vertebrae, yeah.
vertebrate, and then he's like 3 days after his death, like and then with a reason like resurrect, and then it's the same when he resurrect, he's actually like
Right.
get out of the whatever here, because otherwise he have to keep reborn to teach people because he had that knowledge.
Right.
To fulfill his knowledge, you have to teach, and then for humanity to recognize him, you have to sacrifice in the big time. You cannot just sacrifice just like jumping from a cliff,
Right.
because nobody's gonna care.
Right.
Yeah. So like other
He sacrificed an entire kingdom. I mean,
yeah
that's, he left in the middle of the night. He left his wife and his kids. Like
yeah
I really resonate with. It's not that he wanted to.
yeah
It's that it was his calling. Like you can't. He was from the future.
Yeah.
I truly believe the ascended masters injected. They're all here right now, living.
yeah
That they injected themselves in the game, right? To come back and teach, because that's where history really
yeah
starts.
definitely. All of this ascended master. Oh, okay, so Jesus is one of the ascended master. Siddhartha Gautama ascended master. So many ascended master actually. If you practice this astral travel, you will see them. You will even meet
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is like Siddhartha Gautama. Yeah, he was a king. He left this one, and then he was teaching all his family to live this samsara. That's why his descendant, his DNA is extinct in this in this world. Because everyone already like when they die, they don't go back here. They
Right.
don't have any descendant here.
Right.
The same with Jesus. Jesus like has no descendant.
Right.
Most of people like if you have descendant, you still have the responsibility to go back here.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is like you don't always, but mostly when you're reborn, you're like in the same like family tree line.
Right.
So when the Christ consciousness in my own experience though, it was just like connected because I learned so much about Christianity because my grandfather was a priest, and he was a priest because he met my grandma who's a missionary, and he was just like, oh, I need a guide because I can see death, I can see when these people are gonna leave the earth, including his own. That's why he became a priest, and then he kind of like forced the entire family to learn about the Bible.
Mhm.
So when I went to the Catholic school, I kind of know the difference, like what is the Catholic and Christian, because it was different in Indonesia. So I was like, oh, why is this like this? And then why do I have to live through this thing? And then in the same time, it's all connected because they're teaching us about love, right? So for the love is the currency of this earth.
Yeah.
Like another earth may be a different currency, but when it's this earth, there's a what the earth, yeah, it's a love currency. So that's why you have to prioritize love, love, love. And it's all about the procreate. Like love leads to what? Like and like, and then when you like and then what? You procreate. And
Right.
procreate to just keep having descendant. So you keep running the matrix.
I love it.
Look at this. This is all about marketing. What they marketed.
Right.
Love, right?
Love, yeah.
Why?
It's the second highest frequency.
Right, but why? Why you need to love each other?
It's how you heal all timelines, past, present, future, love and forgiveness.
Right, and then what have anything to do with like another person?
It's really just about self-love. I mean, the whole purpose of this matrix was to come in. Why we came in, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We injected ourselves in the game to heal our ancestral lines. So
Right.
most of us chose broken families.
Right.
We had to forgive things that nobody else, like things happened to us that would probably not happen to most people. So we had to forgive those things and to love unconditionally, like which is a very hard thing to do. So the whole game is predicated on love. The only thing that's real in the simulation is love. Everything else is just fabricated. But we've confused it today, love, with things like pornography, OnlyFans, instant gratification with sexualization, because we're sexual beings too. We enjoy.
Do you know why? Do you know why they promote this sexual thing?
Because it lowers your. We're meant to have sex, but we're meant to have high vibrational experiences. They're diminishing the frequency, and then it's just a big. They're filling up our hard drives with bullshit.
Okay, why do you think those whoever that like, create us, want us to to promote love or like go in the love. Like why? Just to procreate.
Right.
Procreate means running the matrix, so they keep going. Because if everyone gonna be like Siddhartha Gautama or whatever Jesus, they stop procreating.
There's no
Nobody's
game.
gonna. There's no game. Like nobody playing the game.
That's very true, and I find it interesting. You have no kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're born on the 20th day of the month.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
And so you would be considered, if you know Dolores Cannon, a second wave incarnation. That means you came here. You didn't want to have kids because you didn't want the karma. You wanted to come in, do your job, and go home.
Yeah.
People's frequencies probably disturbed you. You love people, but then not like you can't necessarily be around people all the time because it's too much for you. And then a lot of people work remote. They can't, it's just there's a pattern here. So the fact that did you know that? And this is getting really personal. Did you ever want to have kids, or did you not?
I mean,
did you understand karma?
I didn't really think about it until like I don't know, but I didn't really think about it because I was like I'm gonna have kids when I meet like someone that the right person.
Right.
But in the same time, when I finally like I think I meet the right person right now, that I'm like already in this age, and I was like, oh, okay, so maybe it's just meant to be that way. So Siddhartha Gautama, he taught everyone to live, right? So nobody live here. Nobody stay here. It's all like extinct. His only child, he named his only son, which is like a crown prince, as a Rahula, means a burden.
That's interesting.
Because he's gonna be burdened, so he has to teach them, and then all the descendant, cousins, everyone, like So none of them finally like they stop. They stop this procreation.
Right.
So why you name your only son as a Rahula? Because it's the one that attachment to this love currency consciousness in here.
Right.
Like this, all of these things, the matrix, all the intermittent, all this what's called reality show that we have right now. We are in the reality show.
100%.
We are in the television. Why they try to promote like OnlyFans, sex pornography, so for you to procreate.
Right.
It's all about marketing right now. When we're doing this right now, it's a marketing. We're trying to market our consciousness. When I meet you, hi, my name is Vimala. My name is Jun. Whatever you promote, you market yourself.
Right.
And you have an intention to like, I want to show you something. The way that we're like doing this content, we want to show them something.
Right.
It's all about marketing. So we are like our job to be born here as a human. We have to be the best salesman, the best marketer.
Right. And how do you sell it the best? What do you think the best way to sell it?
I have no idea.
The best way is to live it. Right. Like I in the beginning of my journey, all of us saw that through the program in the Matrix, and you try to wake up everybody in your family, and everybody ends up, I don't want to say hating you, but we annoy people because they don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
And they're content, and yet at some point we get over that and say, okay, you're not meant to wake up. Maybe you even stop talking for a while.
Yeah.
Just to say, okay, I love you, but I gotta love you from over here.
Yeah.
I have to keep. We're down the rabbit hole.
Right.
We can't come back out because we know this is an infinite plane. They live in the known.
Right.
The known. There's no variables in their reality. Maybe sometimes they get a flat tire. Maybe sometimes they win $10 on a scratch off. But that shit is like, you know what to expect.
Yeah. Because challenge when you like born in a family that don't even like align with everything that you're doing. They're stopping you because
but isn't that better? Isn't that how you know you're not from here? Just because we share blood DNA.
Yes.
Doesn't like you would never know you weren't. Most people live their whole life before the awakening thinking that they were different.
Right.
Why am I so broken? I'm the black sheep of my family.
Yeah.
I always take up for bullies or for people being bullied.
Yeah.
So you had to completely separate yourself from people that, okay, I feel kind of like love.
Yeah.
But this isn't really my tribe.
Yeah.
So it had to be that way.
It had to be. So
we look alike, but we ain't alike.
Yeah. You have to have your own your time for yourself, or too much. You have too much time for yourself because you separate yourself. But if you're like too extroverted, you always with friends, like you always interact with them, you have no time for yourself.
Right.
That's why like for you to go within is so hard.
Yeah.
But for you to be like weird and then got bullied or something, that's why you have time for yourself. You go within like that.
Man, we could. I think that's a good cue because I could talk to you all day.
We should make another one.
We're gonna do this again. Let's go. You want to go eat?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have another 30 seconds. Yeah. Well, let's do another time. Like definitely.
I mean, I love this studio. I love this setup.
It's endless. Like every
time
with you.
I can't believe my phone crashed. That's crazy.
Okay, so we continue this another time. Yeah, the light is off. It's weird. What time is it now? Okay, let's 1 o'clock. We have like
45 minutes.